Hi, and welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben, and this is my review for Tornado. No, this is not a movie about a twister. This is not a specialized sequel, prequel of a twister movie. This is a sort of interesting samurai take, but set in Britain in the 1600s. Is it worth your time? Let's talk about it. A Japanese puppeteer's daughter gets caught up with criminals when their show crosses paths with a crime gang led by Sugarman and his son, Little Sugar. Directed by John McClane, who you may have seen or known his work in Slow West. This film was very interesting. I didn't really know what to expect with it. It's a slow film. It's not a slow burn of a film. It's just methodically slow on purpose. It's uncomfortable to watch as well. Cinematography is stunning. Every shot you look at is like a tour de force in cinematography. Every shot will be slow as well. This won't be for everyone. It's one of those films that builds to the crescendo of what the ending is always gonna be. Like, once you get to the ending, you went, yeah, I always saw it going there. But it's the journey of seeing a character, a young daughter who, I think she's 16. She doesn't want to be in the life that she is of the puppeteer. She wants more for her life. It's the consequences of one choice that unravels their lives, and we see a young sniveling teen become something much different towards the end. It's that storyline that makes it interesting to watch, but it's the cinematography that makes it stunning to watch. You have alumni actors in here. Tim Roth as Sugarman. Most of this film is shot visually. The storytelling is visual. There's very little dialogue, but when Tim Roth does speak, is always very little but to the purpose and menacing as always. But he has the facial expressions, the subtle nuances of an eyebrow lift or a mouth twitch or a little nod, and it can speak words, dialogue within dialogue because of body movements. That is the sort of actor that he is. We also have Jack Lowden, who plays his son, Little Sugar. They have a very tumultuous relationship, and I thought it was interesting seeing that play unfold on screen. You have Rory McCain, who plays Kitten. Obviously, you probably recognize him from Game of Thrones. So there's a bunch of actors in here that you will know from various things, might not be able to pinpoint them immediately, but it's a cast that do their job phenomenally well. And their job here is to elevate what's been shown within the lens. This is going to be one of those films, I believe, that many years from now, filmmakers were like, that shot particular was stunning. It does almost feel like there's a story here, but that is secondhand to the visual expertise that's on display. So you have a bunch of shots that are so beautiful. You know, the cinematographer and the director talked about it beforehand. It was like, we've got to have that shot in this movie. So there's sort of got to be a bit of story here. And the story is, first, it's like a MacGuffin chase thing, and then it's a revenge chase thing. And that is how we follow the beautiful cinematography chronologically. And I'm not mad at it because it reminds me, or more pays homage to films like Kurosawa's, The Seven Samurai, where Seven Samurai's original film changed the way that Western movies, as in actual cowboys and doo-doo films, were made. Since then, we've seen different types of iterations through different eras showcased visually this way. And so to have it here in Britain in the 1600s plays for a different moody aesthetic. They're always moody, but the aesthetic is on location and what time they're placed in. Here we have beautiful greenery, but stark and open, wide vistas with mist rolling on the hills. Those shots that, like Golden Hour isn't really there because it's always overcast. We have those deep forests, the running shots with people between the trees. Exactly. I mean, if you've seen some of the shots in films like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or the subsequent films that followed that kind of suit, you understand the aesthetic that they're going for. But this film is very grounded in its reality of its sort of revenge hero MacGuffin story. Every sort of kill or a brutal fight, none of it is Hollywood showing. It's all as if you are literally the camera there in that moment. This isn't like it's the Hollywood movie. It's like We've taken you back in time, and this is how it was. So stark and real and brutal, and not pretty in its fighting, but pretty in its like looking at what you're watching. That is often just very real, which makes the ending so much more worth it. You've sat through this beautiful stark reality that's kind of hauntingly real, wonderful to watch, but also a sort of horror story for the characters involved. So real that you're like, oh, I wish there was some Hollywoodness in it so that, you can give me a little bit of breathing room. But this film is relentless that way. By the time you get into that end with our main character on the revenge story, you feel quite satisfied because you're like, the trajectory of this character, the story that is written, was always shown through the lens. Very little dialogue, but you knew exactly where it was going. When you reached it, you go, yeah, I'm very satisfied with that. This is a surprising film for me. It's not going to be a huge rewatch because of that slow pacing, the building of the character, and now that I know the ending. But it will be a film that I would love to watch with other people to see their experience of the movie and the storytelling within this. This, I believe, is only the director's second film. I know they've done a couple of other shorts, but I'm very interested to see what the director's going to do next. I think once people get their hands on this, that will definitely find a cult following of love, and people will talk about this for years to come. So I'm going to give it 4.5 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
I guess I was pretty horny.
Let me know your thoughts and feelings on this movie. Had you heard of it? I hope if you haven't, it's now on your radar to watch. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.